Tell you what, Chris, the start of college basketball season used to barely cause a ripple in this town.
No.
It was like, oh, did college basketball season start? I must have missed that.
Yeah.
That happened a month ago? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, what have I been watching? But now it is an event that we wait for, that we count the days off, almost like we count the days off for the start of the NFL season. Aztecs got their first win on Friday night, opened the season defeating UC Riverside handily. And this is a huge week for SDSU basketball. Yesterday, Chris, they announced the new $14.5 million basketball performance center, the practice facility that Steve Fisher has said is so essential, the one that every top program in America has or is building. Now San Diego State is getting one. And it's one thing, Chris, to build yourself up into a perennial NCAA tournament team and top 25 contender. Now you got to stay there. That's the second part of the battle. And one of the requisites for remaining there is being able to match facilities with the best teams in the country. And now San Diego State's going to definitely be able to say that. Between Viejas Arena, the atmosphere of the show, the new performance center that they're going to build, Steve Fisher is not going to have to convince anyone to say, well, come here, we got great weather. You may not have the same gym as you'll get at a big school, but we got nice weather. No, now you can say you get the weather, you get the atmosphere, you get the facilities, you get everything you get at any one of those other schools, plus you get to be in San Diego and play for Steve Fisher.
And he already got a top 10 recruiting class before he got the basketball facility done.
Yes, but he did say yesterday that the part of the recruiting class this year, which is being announced today, that's the next big thing, is the national letter of intent is that they showed them the plans. They took them out to where they were going to build it, and they told all of these guys, this is where your practice facility is going to be. It's going to take about 12 months to build. It's going to be right here. Here's what it's going to look like. We got some artist pictures of it. You're going to have a key card that you can swipe 24 hours a day, and you go and you practice basketball, shoot baskets to your heart's content. This place is going to be for you guys. And that was a big reason why the Aztecs are said to have one of the top 10 recruiting classes in the nation. Last time I checked, it looks, it's like Kentucky, Louisville, Aztecs, Georgetown. I mean, the big names thrown in with San Diego State.
Same way it was in the rankings a few years ago when the Aztecs were sitting there at number 4, right? With all of the Dukes and the Carolinas and the Kansases and the Kentuckys, and there was San Diego State sitting there in the top 5 in the nation. Coach Steve Fisher will join us shortly. Also a big week, of course, because they're playing Arizona on Thursday night. And right now the Aztecs are not ranked. People expecting perhaps maybe a borderline NCAA tournament appearance season, kind of not a rebuilding year. I don't think Steve Fisher looks at it that way, but you lost some great players from a year ago, Chase Tapley and Jamal Franklin, your leading scorer and rebounder. You lose some key pieces. It's going to be tough to replace all of that this season, but next year you're looking forward to the great recruiting class. But I don't think you give up on this season. And if you go ahead and you beat Arizona here on Thursday night, and there's no reason you can't beat them. You nearly beat them last year. You're getting them on your home floor, Viejas Arena, the show. Everybody will be going crazy. You'd have to consider the Aztecs a top 25 team right away, wouldn't you, if they beat Arizona?
I would think they definitely would have a shot. And this is turning into a nice West Coast basketball rivalry over the last couple of years. I'd like to see this series continue. I mean, last year, I believe it was number 5 Arizona against number 17 San Diego State in the finals. It was 11-0 Arizona against 11-1 San Diego State. Those are the numbers that Coach Fisher said yesterday when he was talking about that game that ended with Chase Tapley's layup to win it being blocked, and it was an amazing play by Johnson. But I think a couple years ago in the Aztecs, I think were unranked at the time and went into the McHale Center and actually beat Arizona. We'll see if that happens again this week. But joining us right now is the great head coach of the San Diego State Aztecs, in a big week for San Diego State basketball. Steve Fisher is with us here on Extra Sports 1360. Coach, on with Chris and Ben. It is great to have you back inside the world of sports. Good morning to you, sir.
Hi, Ben, Chris. How are you guys doing?
We missed you, Coach. It's been a while, and we're glad to have you back on the program. This is big time for San Diego State right now. I don't know how much you can say about your recruiting class yet at this early hour, but I know you're excited about that. I know you're excited about the practice facility and the announcement of that yesterday. Tell us what it means to you and what it means to this program.
I cannot at this point talk on the recruits. The nutty rules we've got until we have all the tenders in, the signed letters of intent, and we hope to have those by noon today. I can't speak to the recruits by name, but it's a good recruiting class. I think everybody knows that. I can speak to what we announced yesterday and unveiled to the public, and that's the full steam ahead on the practice facility, and I'm very pleased that it's happening. A debt of gratitude to Jim Sturk and Elliot Hirschman, who helped drive the bus to get there. I've been for a long time, Chris, as you know, trying to get one, and now it's going to be reality, and it helps with everything. It helped with this recruiting class, as we talked about the potential of having it. And now the reality is there, and we can show spade in the ground here, completion date here, and you'll be in it at this time. So it's a terrific addition. It will benefit all of San Diego State to have this new facility.
Well, Coach, I know you can't talk about it, but I can certainly read some tweets. And Ruben, who covers your team for Aztec Sports Report, just tweeted that five-star forward Malik Pope tells me he just signed his NLI to San Diego State. Trey Kelly earlier tweeted that he was in the process of signing. So you're going to probably have some good news to talk about later today. Now, yesterday, talking about the practice facility, Coach, you mentioned, you said something to the effect of you got to kind of keep up with the Joneses in college basketball. And all these other schools, these big schools, have these great practice facilities or are building them now. In terms of building up a program, that's one thing, but keeping it there is another thing. And how much is that going to help, keep your program where you've been able to build it over the last 14 years?
That's a huge point, Ben. We have our program at a level where we feel we can compete with anyone. You know what we've done over the past 6-7 years, and we're very proud of that. And I'm not someone that says I have to have it because this guy has it. But in today's world, the sophistication of the recruits who are out there, they know what they see when they go to other campuses, and they know what it means to have 24-hour access to work on improving your game, to become a better basketball player. And every player we've got here, they are focused and driven to be as good as they can be, and they all know the value of it. So it's a huge component in the overall picture of a program. Not because somebody else has one, because this is what in today's world kids look for, and it can be a difference between going to school A or school B when the dust settles. It helped us. I'm real honest with you. It helped us in this year's recruiting class.
Coach Steve Fisher is with us. Aztecs have Arizona coming into town on Thursday night. And, Coach, it's almost impossible to think of Arizona without thinking back to the game last Christmas in Honolulu. I mean, you can still see Chase Tapley driving down the lane for the game-winning layup and Nick Johnson flying out of nowhere and coming over and blocking that shot. And they beat you 68-67. I don't know if this goes. You use this as a revenge game, but I know that you use this as a big game and a big chance against Arizona. They're in the top 10. You guys want to get yourself on the map this year. Thursday night is just an exciting time to be an Aztec.
It sure is. It will be a tremendous atmosphere in a sold-out building, and the emotions and the atmosphere will be electric. Our kids will be ready to play. We've got a lot of guys back. A number of guys back from that team, and we did everything but win the game. We were close, and we played. It was a really, really hard-fought game between two very good teams. They were 11-0 at the time, 12-0 after the game. We were 11-1, only lost to Syracuse, and that made us 11-2. They were 5th ranked, we were 17th ranked. So this were against two teams that had produced. They have a lot of guys back and a huge recruiting class. We've got new people and lost 80% of our offense. So our kids are excited. We know we're playing a terrific team, but we also know that we're playing them in Viejas Arena, and we've got a pretty good basketball team ourselves.
Do you expect early in the season, especially an Arizona team, to come in and perhaps even be rattled by the atmosphere that the show can create?
anytime you play on the road, it's a different environment, and you have to adjust to it. I would think, given the blend of older guys, Nick Johnson, you named, he's now a junior who started 3 straight years. They have a transfer from Duquesne named McConnell, who's a redshirt junior, so this would be his 4th year. Those are 2 guys that won't rattle. Brian Ashley, or Ashley, the sophomore, started almost every game last year, and Trzaskowski. These are guys that started the year before or started at a different program the year before. So it'll help us. I don't think you'll see deer in headlights with an Arizona team. They're experienced and they're good, but the crowd will help us without a shadow of a doubt.
Winston Shepard comes up with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists in your opening game against UC Riverside. I'm curious, Coach, and I know the proof will be in the pudding as the season goes along, but how much improvement have you seen from Winston Shepard from his freshman season a year ago to where he sits right now?
Significant amount in every aspect. You look at him physically, he looks bigger, and he is bigger. He's bigger, stronger. His skills are better. I think the biggest improvement over the course of the season with Winston will be his ability to deal with stress and frustration and things that aren't going well. Anybody can, when it's going good, kind of go with the flow. Winston has improved so much mentally on how to deal with, move on to the next play. Don't worry so much about what just happened, and that's what he has to do. Thursday, tomorrow will be a game where it'll be high stress, and you have to deal with that. So, but I do believe that he's going to perform at a level that all Aztec fans will like.
Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, Coach, but you get a chance to scout Kansas. I know you get to head to Fog Allen Fieldhouse in January. That looked like a pretty good team last night for this early in the season.
Didn't it, though? I watched the second half. There were 2 pretty good teams that were out there.
There were 4 last night that I saw.
Yeah, that will be an interesting experience. We got a lot of games to play between now and then, but I've never taken a team to Lawrence, Kansas, so it'll be first time for me also. It'll be one that we will go in, and it will test us. Kansas is top 4 or 5 team. We're going to see the same thing on Thursday night. We'll see a lot of what we'll see at Kansas in Viejas tomorrow with a team in Arizona. But we'll look forward to that. But right now, all our energy and eyes and thoughts are focused on Arizona.
Well, Coach, it's always a great pleasure to have you on the program. It's great to hear you're doing well, and team's off to a good start, and can be a whole lot better start if you win here tomorrow night against Arizona. Best of luck, and let's get a big career win number 467. I think it would be tomorrow night for you, and I think it would be one of the sweetest ones if you can do it.
It would be terrific. We're going to need all 12,414 at their best game also. So we look forward to having that environment and atmosphere and all our fans helping us get a victory.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.